holy. None of me but a whole lot of him. Oh, she holy, holy. None of me but a whole lot of him. Oh, she holy, holy. None of me but a whole lot of him. Oh, she holy, holy.
Hey y'all. Right. Y'all still do that? The jinx. Yeah, we still do it.
Punch back.
Can't punch back. That was always my dream car.
A punch bug? You had one.
I did have one because it was my dream car.
It was red.
No, I had a red one, and then I got a white newer one. And then I was sick of that, and so that went bye-bye. But it was my dream car. Anyway. Y'all. Welcome y'all to Holy Chicks Dropping Nuggets podcast. It's your girl T.
It's your girl Tony.
Tony within. Okay. I hear you, voice. She been working. La la la.
Yep. Not really.
Not really.
Okay.
Only when we come here on these days.
Just cut up in the studio. That's what we do, y'all.
Oh my gosh. All right, we ready. I think we ready today. We just gonna jump in. I think we did our little cutting up in the beginning, so we just gonna jump in right now. We ready. Okay. All right, y'all. So today's episode is called You Want Me to Be Great, Just Not Greater Than You.
Talk about it.
Okay.
This one right
this
here.
About to hit,
this
okay?
be a really popular one because it's a lot of people out here that's wishing you well, but in their heart they was like, but just don't exceed me.
Just don't exceed me,
Just
okay?
don't.
I might need to move this mic because I might need to. I feel myself like sitting up and sitting down. I feel it.
I'm telling you, just do not exceed me.
Just don't exceed what I'm doing. I'm gonna help you. I want you to be.
Yes.
I want you to be all that you can be. We out here in this army of the Lord together. We doing big things. I want you to win. What they say? I want us all to win out here. Okay.
Yes.
I just don't want you to exceed what I'm doing.
Just don't do more.
Okay. Just don't do more than me.
Do good.
Okay.
But do less.
Do less than me.
Yeah, that part.
Make the money. Just don't make more than me.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
I want you to travel.
Hello.
Just don't travel more than me. All right.
Okay.
I want you to be great in these streets.
It's so true though.
Just don't be greater than me.
It's so true though. And some people, like, the crazy part about it, some people can genuinely look you in your eyes and be like, yo, I want you to win.
Come
like,
on.
You will come out of this. Things are going to be better for you. You know, I'm praying for you to have a husband. I'm praying for you to do
Come
this,
on.
that, and the third. And in their heart, it's like, okay, if her wedding exceeded your wedding, was more fancy, or her husband was making more money than your husband, and it's just like, well, I wanted you to have a husband, but I just didn't want it to be
better than mine.
Right.
I just say want your husband to be better than mine. Right. Or even take it into church. I want you to be called to minister. I just don't want you to be called more than me.
Okay.
I want you to have God's favor. I just don't want you to have more favor than me.
Okay.
Woo,
But that's still
honey.
Jealousy, though.
It is.
It's still envy.
And it's
is still
very,
hate. Okay.
It is.
It is. It's still hate. You know, like, honestly. And I mean, I don't know. Why do you think people are like that? Why do you think people can say, I want you to win, but in their heart and in their mind, they're like, but just don't be better than me. Don't exceed
what I'm doing.
You know, what I'm doing. But I want you to do it. And I want you to be great at it.
Right.
So why do you think that is?
I really think that it's a control issue. And I think that it's I hope I say this word right, like a narcissistic mentality.
Okay.
I really do, because you're trying to control an avenue. You're trying to control a person. You're trying to control situations. And you don't want to see somebody doing better than you. And as you said, it's just envious. And it's just, they're attention seeking. Like, they don't want somebody to get more attention to them. Like, they want to be the first one to be called on. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, you doing your insurance, like somebody that might be doing insurance with you, they might say, oh, Tony, I want you to succeed in selling insurance, but I just want to be the first one they call on. I want to be the one that distributes where this is going to go. So I want them to go through me in order to get to you. So I don't want you to super exceed me. It's a power trip. They want to be in control. They want to have more power. They want to feel like they are in control of everything.
Absolutely.
So that's how I feel about it.
And I think they portraying a fraud. You know, so so many people want everyone to know and to think I'm a good person. I love everybody. I want everybody to win.
Yeah.
But in your heart,
Secretly,
you are very competitive.
Ooh,
Very,
yep.
very competitive. You're very jealous minded, and you're greedy. You know, and I think greed has a lot to do with it as well, because you know, people always want more. No matter how much they get, it's never enough.
It's never enough. That's
you know,
true.
They always have to feel like I'm the king, I'm the queen. Or what this new age now, I'm the GOAT, right? The greatest of all time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
Like, yo, like, funny story, like when people started calling themselves the GOAT, I was like, ooh, like, why people out here calling themselves the devil? Like, that's so demonic.
Right.
Like, for real. Like, because, you know, in the Bible, you know, the lamb is God and the goat, is the devil. So when people were like, I'm the GOAT, I'm like, yo, chill. Like, like, what are you doing? Like, you're literally calling yourself, you know, Satan or you know, demonic. So anyway, side note, like, I legit thought that, and they was like greatest of all time. But I still would never call myself the GOAT, because it's still yeah. But anyway, but yeah. So back to what we were saying, you know, I think it has a lot to do with people, like you said, wanting to be in control, being very competitive, but also wanting to portray I'm a good person. You know, I want everybody to win. You know, I want everybody to succeed. You know, but deep down in their heart, they're like, yeah, I want you to get your makeup done. I want you to get your hair done. But please don't do your hair better than mine.
Right.
Don't let your makeup outshine mine. I'm just saying.
Right.
You
That's
know,
true.
You know, it's funny, even with women, right? Especially women who support other women. Girl, I got you. You know what I mean? Or whenever they see a cute woman in the street, they're like, I won't, you know, I'm the type of person, if a woman look good, I will not be afraid to tell her she look good.
Exactly.
But let's just come into, like, say you're at a holy convocation, right? You done went to the 10th degree to make sure that the outfit that you was showing up in was legit.
Right.
Like, you gonna turn heads, right? But you the same woman that said, you know, like, I support other women. You know, if a woman look good, I'm gonna tell her she look good. But let's just come up in there with the same dress as yours. Ready to go home. Ready to go home. Spirit is high as all get out. But you look, she done came in with your outfit. You like, you know what? I'm ready to go. You know what? I don't even feel like, nope. So it's like, in my mind, it's like, okay, so are you here for attention or are you here for God?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's so true. You know, when we had our boutique, a lot of women used to come in and be like, okay, like if there was like a party or something, like, all right, I'm buying this dress. Go put the other 3 in the back. And I'm like, okay, well, are you going to pay me for the other 3 I'm going to put in the back?
Come on.
Because I need to make money.
I still got to make money no matter who come by these dresses.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, and it's so crazy. Women used to come in all the time and say the exact same thing.
Really?
All right, if it's a big event, they were like, all right, I bought this skirt, I bought this dress, I bought these shoes. Somebody need to go and take the other in the back.
Oh my gosh,
So
that is
true.
crazy.
So it takes me back to when you say, you know, people say, I want you to win, but just don't.
Yeah, just
Don't
outshine me.
Outdo me. And women, they used to do it all the time. So that's like one example of when people, you know, when women in particular, like, you know what, I support women. You know, like I love a woman that's dressed from the 9. Like, I would support her. But let's just come up in there with the same outfit as yours.
Wow.
Girl, in your feelings, okay?
That's
to the point
crazy.
where you just like, you know what, I'm about to bounce.
Oh
I don't
my
even want to be here no
gosh.
more. You know what I mean?
Oh, that takes me to, we were actually tagged today. The podcast was tagged in this girl's post. And it said, the girl was saying, I'm going to just genuinely say, because I don't remember the whole post exactly because it was very long. But she said that she went to this entrepreneur group on Facebook and she joined the group just because, you know, she wanted to be with other entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to be with other entrepreneurs. We supposed to have the same vision for each other. We supposed to encourage each other. We all here for the same purpose, right? And then she got banned out of the group. So she said, well, I was in my feelings. I was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't break the rules to the group. So what in the world happened? I don't know why I got banned from this group. So she said she was in her feelings. So she felt led to contact the owner of the group and ask her, why did you ban me? And the owner, I'm going to paraphrase, told her pretty much that she felt, and this goes with the podcast that we just did, and that's why the girl tagged us, because of the podcast that we just did, Are You Intimidated by Your Friends? And she said, I was intimidated by you. I don't know what it was, but it was something when you came into the room on this Facebook page, it was just something that didn't sit well with me. So I was like, what in the world? I just thought that was extremely crazy, because we're all supposed to be in this room together. You have built this group on Facebook of entrepreneurs, supposedly, because you want to gather these women because you want them to win. But now you see a woman come in your room, and now you see that it looks like she's winning more than you, and now you just unexpectedly ban her because you're intimidated.
And not only is she intimidated, but if we really get down to the root and the core of it, because even with that episode that we did, Are You Intimidated by Your Friends? And that was actually a really popular episode.
Really
People
was.
really loved that episode. But one thing I want to say, and this is why I believe, that she was banned, because nobody likes to be challenged.
Right.
So when she came on the scene, or when she came on the set, it challenged her. It challenged her to do more, to be better. But it also reminded her, you're not as great as you thought you
Come
were.
on, you're not as great. And when she came in her room too, like when somebody comes in your house, in your place, in your event, and you like, oh, wait a minute, I might need to step my game up.
This is my day to shine. It reminds me of a bride. They said, if you're ever invited to a wedding, you're never supposed to look better than the bride, and you're not supposed to wear white. Traditionally, and that's the thing. And for her, it was her thing. It was her shine. She was the boss. She was in charge. She was the one that everybody was looking up to.
Right.
But when you got somebody else that come beside you, not only do they look like you, but they might even look better than you. It challenges you. And it reminds you, you're not as great as you thought you were. So you're going to need to go back in and revise, rearrange and step your game up.
Exactly.
So I really felt like she was, not only was she intimidated, but more importantly, she felt challenged.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point, because like you said, when somebody comes in your room and they feel that challenge, but you would think that a woman with an entrepreneur mindset, with a so-called boss mindset, that you should want to learn from other people. You should want these people that are quote unquote greater than you to come into your room so that you can learn from them, so that you can ask them questions, because the reason why she came in her room. Like, if you believe that God is really an intentional God, you should believe that he's going to send people and holy connections in your way so that you can be able to connect with them for a sole purpose, so that you both can be great, so that you both can win. And I remember I sent you that video, and I was like, this is kind of what sparked this in me, was the guy was talking about how you should hang with other people who want excellence. You should hang with other people. You should hang with other lions, basically. You shouldn't hang with the hyenas. If you're trying to go higher, you should hang with people who are trying to go as high as you go, whether that's in the spirit, whether that's success, entrepreneur, financial, wherever. You should want to hang with the people that are either where you are or going where you are. Because if you stay stuck back here with these people that ain't going nowhere and that secretly want you to win, quote unquote, wink eye, but they really don't want you to win, then they're going to feel challenged by you. They're going to be intimidated by you, going back to even that. But you should hang with those people that want to go where you're going. You should want those people to be in your room so that you can learn from them, because you never arrive anywhere. Right. Like, you always can learn from somebody else all the time.
All the time. And this is the thing, right? Not only, do they feel challenged, but what came to my mind is this too. When a person has worked so hard to establish themselves, let's take, for example, if you're sewing a dress, right? If you're making a dress, and the dress that you made, you have the pattern and everything, and you're very, excited about making this dress, and putting things together. So you go and you start to stitch this dress,
Mm-hmm.
only to find out that the sewing machine, the thread got caught up in the sewing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to like take the sewing machine apart and cut the thread and cut the seams again so you can resew this dress. So take, for example, you've done this like 7 times already, right? So on the 8th time, you master it, right? And you actually get the dress almost exactly how the blueprint looks, right? And then someone else comes in, wearing the exact pattern and the exact dress that took you 7 times to make, and their dress actually look better than your dress that you worked so hard to accomplish. In your mind, it's uncomfortable for you because it's like, you don't know how much time I spent, how much time I've given to make this thing look like it looked. And then you just show up and it looks better than mine.
What you gonna do?
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. So not only did she felt challenged, but she put her in an uncomfortable place because it's like, it put her in the mindset, says you got to start over again. But it shouldn't put you in the mindset of starting over again.
Right.
It should just put you in the mindset to critique some things.
Yeah,
you don't have
to be
tear
better.
it back down to rebuild it up. But in their mindset, because they worked so hard and it took so long to get to that point, when you come in and yours look better than mine, it puts me in the mindset that I got to tear this thing down to build it back up to make it look even better than yours. So it's definitely a challenge, but also it weakens you and it humbles you definitely to the extent where you're like, oh my God, I worked so hard, and now you just show up and you challenge everything I've worked so hard for. Now in my mind, I gotta go back to the drawing board, and it's like, it's exhausting to even think that you have to go back to the drawing board because you worked so hard to get to where you are. So that was another thing too. Only God knows how many times she suffered, how many times she failed, how many times she put that thing together and it went right back to the ground. And now that she feels like she has some momentum, is growing, she got people on her team, she's really working at it, then someone else shows up to say, you know what, you did good, but mine is much better. And it was just in her appearance, and she might not even
she probably didn't even say anything.
The way she looked, the way she carried herself, her confidence.
Sometimes, girl, I was just about to say, sometimes confidence can make somebody, challenge somebody.
Absolutely. And the reason why I can say that is because I can relate to that. For a very long time, I dealt with self-esteem issues. Like I dealt with not thinking I was pretty, not thinking, I was good enough, not thinking I was worthy enough, not, just kind of just beating myself down, just that self-destruction mentally, emotionally, all this, that, and the third, so if, because people would tell me all the time, oh my God, you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous. And I'm like, and my mom thinking like, no, I don't see it. I don't think that I'm pretty. And then another pretty lady would come up beside me and I would just feel so less than. I would feel so insignificant because in my mind, it's like, I gotta pull everything, take everything apart and put it back together so I can try to look as good as that. You know what I mean? So the issue at hand is that you're too busy judging other people's things and not your own self. You're not focusing on where you need to go, but you're focusing on how much better they're doing or how much greater they are than you, and you lose yourself. I think if people really just kind of focus on what they need and where they need to go, then they won't feel intimidated. They won't feel challenged by somebody else that's doing better or exceeding more than them, because that's just a reminder of where I'm going. And not only am I going there, but I know that I will exceed that. So it should be, motivation.
Right, exactly.
I always say all the time, I love a good challenge. I do. I love it. Challenge me, and I promise you, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, right.
And if I don't win, listen, I'm gonna give you a run for your money.
I'm gonna give you a good run, baby. Trust me.
I'm telling you. But I had to mature into that.
Oh yeah,
It
don't
wasn't
come
something
overnight.
that just happened. You know what I mean? Like I had to mature into that, and I
takes
really
growth.
had to work on me.
Yeah.
I really had to figure out what it was that I wanted and how I saw myself, and not how I thought other people saw me. You know, so my self-esteem came in because I always thought people were judging me. But in all reality, nobody was really judging me. It was me being my worst critic. It was me tearing my own self down.
Yeah.
You know, so mentally I had to reevaluate and rewire some things in my brain. Excuse me, not me. The Holy Spirit had to come and help me to recognize who I was, whose I was,
Come on.
and where God was taking me.
Exactly.
You know, but prior to that, everything and anything that looked better than me or had more than me, it challenged me. It made me uncomfortable. It put me in a space where I felt like I had to tear it down and build it back up. And prayerfully, I could build it back up to be better than what it was before I tore it down. But it wasn't like that. All I had to do was just critique it. You know?
That's so good. And it's so funny you're even talking about that, because that goes with a reel that I just posted today. I said comparison is a secret killer. And so many times we compare ourselves to what we're seeing or what we think we should be, or judging others and comparing our lives to theirs, comparing our kids to theirs, just comparing everything when we just need to be what we are. We just have to be what God has created us to be, you know, and genuinely be happy for other people, genuinely want other people to win, genuinely want other people to be great, and accepting a good challenge.
Absolutely.
Because I'm the same way. Like, I'm going to accept a challenge. Like, I am very competitive, and I'm up for the challenge. I ain't saying I'm going to win, but like you said, I'm going to give you a good run.
I'm
okay?
gonna give you a good run for your money. Like, trust me,
you a good run.
this baby ain't going down easy. Like,
I ain't going down without a fight.
I am not. You have knocked me out about 3-4 times.
Come on. This
And I'm
about to
still
be
gonna
a good.
stand up staggering. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
y'all can't see me. I'm like,
I'm gonna stand up. They're gonna be like, you need to sit down. No,
sit down.
I
No,
ain't done yet.
we're gonna be
Yes,
like
you
Creed.
are.
I still got some. I got something to
telling
prove.
There you go. There you go. But see, so you know, when you were speaking, it took me to the mindset of there's a difference between being inspired by someone and comparing yourself to someone. Now, you can look at another person that's doing better than you and be inspired
Yes.
by what they're doing.
As you should.
And that would motivate you. That would feed you to want more, right? That would put you in the mindset that I have to do more. I got to step my game up. I got to, you know what I mean? Because you can be inspired. But when you compare yourself to someone, that's the negative form of it, because now
Exactly.
you're like, I ain't good
I'm
enough.
not good enough. Yeah.
I ain't capable.
I'm not worthy.
I ain't worthy.
And now you just stop doing whatever you were doing.
Absolutely.
Because now you feel like they're doing it so much better than you. There's no way I can add up to them. Well, you're not supposed to add up to them. You're not supposed to be where they are. And I also say you don't know what it took for them to get there. Like even the girl who was on there, the thing on Facebook, like you don't know what it took for her to get where she was. And now the one who kicked her out, that could have really been a business partner. That could have been a friend. You don't know what God's plan was for that relationship. And you banned her because you felt a challenge, because you felt like, I don't know what some people feel sometimes. Maybe she felt like she was going to take her friends. Maybe she felt like she was going to take her people that were in her group. She was going to go start her own group and take her people. But why can't we all be together? Why can't we all win for real? Well, who was that man? Who was it? Can't we all just get along? What was his name? Rodney King.
Oh, you know what?
I'm so sorry.
She ain't black and
I lost my black card. I lost my black card today, y'all. I'm gonna get it back because I'm gonna get some crabs and
Give it to
watermelon.
me. Don't forget the fried chicken, right?
That's a fried chicken. I like all of that, so I think I got it back now.
All of that.
Okay.
Look, I'll tell you this funny story, right? So, when they did like spring break on MTV, right? And you know, they always had like the spring break and the spring break festival, and people, I think it was in like Miami or Florida, somewhere, and I wouldn't watch it. So like my sister, my siblings, they always like to turn TV on and watch, MTV spring break. But me personally, I wouldn't watch it. And I wouldn't watch it because those people were having more fun than me. And I didn't want to be challenged with that.
Wow.
It made me feel some type of way that they were having so much fun. So I literally would not watch it. I would get angry when I walk in and they were watching it. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Why y'all watching that dumb stuff?
Wow.
That is so ignorant. But secretly in my heart, it's because I wanted to be there, you know what I mean? Having fun too.
Wow.
You know, I wanted to be there, you know, enjoying myself, and it looked like they were
And
having
you home.
I'm home. Looking like I look.
You honey, my mom say that you over here looking like
Looking
you look.
like I look. You know, so, you know, I want everybody to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Live it up. But I wouldn't watch MTV Spring Break. I would not watch it.
Y'all have
True
fun.
story.
Just don't have more fun than me.
True story. But it all
That's
goes
funny.
back to, and I just can't get off of that, the whole part of feeling challenged.
Yeah.
You know, feeling challenged is very like intimidating. But more importantly, a lot of people don't have enough faith in themselves to believe that they can super exceed whatever the challenge is.
That's true.
Maybe they've tried so many different things in life and they fail and they're afraid of failing. You know what I mean? Maybe they have people, no one really supported them. No one really, you know, affirmed them.
There you go.
And telling them that you're able, you know what I mean? You can do it, you know, like no challenge is too difficult. You know, maybe they felt like they had to encourage themselves all the time, and no one ever spoke anything good or ever affirmed them in anything, you know. So whenever there is a challenge, you know, they shrink
They
up.
shut down, they shrink up.
Shut down.
And that brings
and they shut it out.
And
like
they
I
shut
would
it
not
out.
watch MTV.
Yeah,
I
like
felt
I'm not
this-
watching it.
Y'all having way too much fun, and like I ain't even got a water hose. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even run through the sprinklers.
I'm
Like,
tired.
please leave me. You know, I beg. Leave me, okay?
And me talking
Leave
about
me.
crabs actually brought, I know, it just sparked something else. But I'm thinking about the crabs in the bucket mentality. Where when you know, when you got so many crabs in the bucket, but the other one trying to get out, and then they pull them back down. And that's what a lot of people, they seem to have sometimes, is that crabs in a bucket mentality. They see somebody else maybe about to get out or doing better than them, and then they try to pull them back down. They try to pull them back in. Because I want you to get out of this bucket, but I don't want you to get out before me.
Wow. You know, now that we have addressed it, the issue at hand, so a lot of people might be challenged with this, with, you know, and they might not confess, and they might not admit
Right.
that she challenged me. You know what I mean? She made me feel uncomfortable, you know, because I worked so hard to be where I am, and she comes in her shining glory and super exceed everything I worked so hard for.
And make you shrink back.
And make me shrink back to that small, little, itty bitty mindset of not believing that I can. One thing I can say to those that maybe feel challenged by other people, maybe other people might make them feel like, you know,
Insignificant.
They're insignificant. Look at it like this, and this is how I look at it. When I see other people winning, when I see other people, you know, doing big things and getting more than me, I said, because it might not be my season. Maybe it's your season to win.
Right.
But I can have high hopes and I can keep my faith because I know that if I keep moving, my day will come. You know, my harvest, it will be soon.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I just got to keep planting these seeds in the ground. And at some point, it will be my season. You know, so I can legitimately and honestly say I'm really happy for people that might be doing better than me.
Yeah.
You know, that might have, you know, the big mansion and the nice cars and you know, the great successful business, and you know, they can great prayer warriors, because even in ministry,
Yeah.
people become jealous of other people
Right.
because they can pray better.
Exactly.
You
But what
understand?
is really
Or they
even
can
praying
preach
better? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if they're in they're praying better, is they can use the biblical words in the right order. You understand what I'm saying? They know how to, pull down and release and lock up and tie up and, from, fire from heaven. They really know how to just, make you feel like, ooh, that prayer has power, and it's jealousy even in that. Even in, preaching, if someone else can really, break down a scripture to the point where it brings crazy revelation, and the other person, just preached on that same scripture, but, the revelation that they preached wasn't nowhere near the one that the other one. Yeah. There's jealousy in that.
It is.
But what gives comfort to my soul and what brings peace to my heart when I see another person winning that's doing better than me, I can say to myself, it's their season. And I don't have to be jealous because my season is coming. I just got to keep putting these seeds in the ground.
Exactly.
Just keep making sure that I'm watering my crop because my harvest is soon to come.
Right.
And your harvest could be next week. Your harvest could be next year.
Right.
But trust and believe when it's your time and your season has arrived. Trust and believe it's going to be great. And it's going to be more than you could even imagine. But in the meantime, give them joy. Give them props for what they're doing.
Exactly.
Because you don't know how much
That's
it took
for them to get there.
But you also don't know how much more it takes to keep them there.
Right. That part.
They all right.
It's that part. Okay.
Because getting to success is one thing. But keeping your success,
staying there,
is a whole nother level.
And you don't know what they go through to stay there.
It's a whole nother level. They always say, more money, more problems, and it's so true. It's so true because the more money you have, the more liberty you have at being able to purchase and go certain places and do certain things. But there also comes a lot of stress with that.
Exactly.
The bigger the house, the more security you're going to need. The more famous and successful you are, the more bodyguards and security guards you're going to need. Exactly. But they ain't going to do it for free.
Right. So you're going to have to continue to make the money
have to pay.
so that you can pay them.
And if you want really good people, you're going to have to pay them really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The more money you have, you're going to have to hire an accountant. If you want a really good accountant, you're going to have to pay them well.
Exactly.
You're going to have to hire lawyers. Successful people, yes, they are successful, but there's a lot of people on their payroll. There's a lot of people they have to pay to keep themselves as successful as they are. They have people working in their corner. So being, successful, you got to know who to hire, how much to pay them, who to trust, because the more money you have, the more successful you are, you get a lot more snakes.
Yeah, that's so true.
So you got to know how to fish out and how to know who tricking you and who not. So you're gonna need some good people in your ear coaching you. Right. You're gonna need some good people in your ear that's encouraging you. Some honest people.
Honest people, girl. That's it.
With success comes a lot of challenges.
It really does.
And that's another thing too. I can tell people, like, don't envy them. Don't be jealous of them because you don't know what it takes to keep them there. I'm married and I love my husband a lot. I do. And we have a wonderful marriage. And people can look at me and say, oh, you're lucky you have a husband and you're lucky you got a man that love you, blah, blah, blah. But we have our challenges. Yeah. At married life, we have our challenges, and some challenges are bigger than others. We might argue over, the toothpaste. You know what I mean? Like, we might argue over, not argue, but dispute over the fact that, I didn't go to the grocery store, so we have like 4 pieces of bread left. And out of those 4 is the heel, and he give me the heel. You know what I mean? I feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, why you give me the heel? Everybody know that's the worst part of the loaf.
Oh my God.
So, small arguments. But those little things that agitate or irritate you.
Yeah, they do.
And we have, bigger challenges. We have to decide what to invest in. You know, we have to decide, you know, where are we going to put our money, you know, what we're going to buy, because at one point in my life I could just buy whatever I wanted.
Right.
And I didn't have to answer to nobody. But I just can't do that. I just can't pick up and leave. You know, T, like, yeah, you want to go to King of Prussia Mall. I just cannot just
pick up
leave.
and go.
I got to let my husband know.
Right.
And when I say let my husband know, in so many words, I have to get permission.
Yeah.
You know, and when I say permission, it's like, babe, I'm going to be heading out with T to the mall. And he'll tell me, no, babe, you can't do that today because remember, we got this to do or that to do. You know, it's a respect thing.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
but even, you know, in my marriage, I had to learn to give up some control, you know, so you can't envy that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So even with people that are envious or they feel jealous